Hey guys, my name is Gabby. Welcome back to my channel, and today I thought I would do another tier ranking video. This one was highly requested after I did the last tier ranking video that I just did of ranking thrillers and horrors that I've recently read. And so for this one, I decided to do the romance novels that I've recently read, and this is going to contain 60 plus romance novels that I've read in the last few years. Before we get started, I just wanted to say a huge thank you because this morning I woke up to 40,000 subscribers and it's just so freaking crazy, and I'm just so grateful and appreciative to every single person that takes time out of their day to watch one of my videos. Like, seriously, thank you. This is amazing. I never thought my channel could grow like this. Let's get to the romance tier ranking. I think this is gonna be very fun. Alright, so as you can see on this tier ranking list, I have 5 different tiers as usual. The top one is God tier / OTP / faves, because these are going to be like the highest recommended romances from me. My absolute faves, my God tiers, my OTPs. These are the couples that I like ship more than the fist of God, you know what I mean? And then the next one we have is cute shit, which means that it's not exactly like an all-time favorite romance, but I can acknowledge the fact that it's still some really cute shit, and I would still probably recommend this. Like, this is probably like the 4 stars, you know, it's cute. And then next we have just okay / not for me, which means that this book is like, okay, it's fine. It's not really like super memorable for me, but it's like not bad either. It's just not for me personally. And then we have already forgot it / not great, which means that this romance is not one that sticks in my head. It's not like something I remember enjoying, and it's not something that I, you know, would recommend. It's not great. And then the last one is absolute trash, which, do I even have to explain this one? This is probably the 1 star, some of the 2 stars, just books that I absolutely do not recommend, and they're probably just like not for me personally. Maybe some other people might enjoy them, but there's absolute trash in my opinion. Like, I wouldn't recommend these to anybody, and I regret wasting my time reading these ones. Okay, so the very first one we have here is The Air He Breathes by Brittany C. Cherry. Brittany C. Cherry is one of my favorite romance authors, and even though I did give this book 5 stars, it's been a few years since I've read it, so I'm gonna put it in cute shit because I honestly can't barely even remember anything about this book because I think I read it like 5 or 4 years ago now, so it's gonna go in cute shit. I remember really enjoying it though from when I read it. I just don't really remember it all that much. And the next one is gonna be 30 Dates in 30 Days. This is one that I just read last year, and this one I'm also gonna put in cute shit. This one's actually like a female romance, and it's about this girl who like goes on 30 dates within 30 days on this app. Like, I don't know, it's a cute time. And then next we have 99% Mine, which I'm sorry to anybody that loves this book, but this one's gonna go in absolute trash. After reading and loving The Hating Game, I had some very high expectations for 99% Mine, and it was so bad. I'm pretty sure it was a DNF for me too. All right, next up we have A 5-Minute Life, which this one I'm gonna put in just okay / not for me, which sucks because this was like one of my most anticipated romances because I love Emma Scott, and I do feel like the first half of this book is like a 5 star because it's so good. It's about this girl who only has like a 5-minute long attention span because she was in like a really bad car accident, thinking like 50 First Dates type of shit, right? But then the second half of the book is so terrible. Next up we have Aced by Brooke Blaine and Ella Frank, and this one is also gonna go in cute shit. This one is one of my more favorites out of the cute shit. I'll probably move it to the top because it's a really good one. It's a male romance. One of them is an actor and the other one is like a model, I want to say, but he's gonna be acting on his movie set of the actor one, and it's really good. I really enjoy this one. I've reread it. I've read it twice. Alright, next up, All Your Perfects by Colleen Hoover. Oh, this one's like hard to rate because the romance in this book isn't one of my like all-time favorites, but the message in this book is an all-time favorite. So I'm probably just gonna put this one in cute shit, honestly. Like, I'm sorry, but the romance specifically in this book is not an all-time favorite of mine, but it's like the message in this book regarding certain things about their marriage and their struggles, like that is like God tier to me. I just can't put it in God tier because there's other Colleen Hoover books that I enjoy more than that one. So, ooh, next up we have Autobiography. This is without a doubt God tier, OTP, one of my favorites. This is a young adult male romance. It is spectacular, and Sebastian and Tanner are just like my whole heart. I love them, and I've read this book twice as well. It's fantastic. Next up we have Beach Read, which is one of my most recent romance reads, and I'm very sorry and sad to say that this one's just okay / not for me. I know that this book is like super hyped right now, and I think like everyone in the world that loves romance has loved the shit out of this book. But I personally found it to be just okay. I don't know, like I really enjoyed the beginning of it, but then Gus just started to like irritate me as the book went on, and I feel like he was just playing games with her for like way too long in the book, and I don't know, and the tone of this book was just all over the place. It was very strange. Alright, next up we have Behind the Bars, which is by Brittany C. Cherry, who's one of my favorite authors, but unfortunately this one's gonna go in absolute trash. I'm so sorry. Because, this book, like, these characters are such stereotypes and cliches that I just could not connect with this story at all, and I just found it to be so boring and typical. Next up we have Birthday Girl, which this is like my ultimate guilty pleasure, so it's going in God tier. And because Jordan and Pike are one of my biggest OTPs ever, and I am trash for this book. I know you probably want to rank me as absolute trash after putting Birthday Girl in God tier, but you know what? Fight me. I don't care. Alright, next up we have Blind Kiss by Renee Carlino. And I think I did give this book 4 stars, but I don't know. I'm having a lot of trouble even recalling this book, and I want to put it in already forgot it / not great, even though I know I did give this book 4 stars, but honestly, I've already forgotten it. Like, I can barely even remember. I don't even remember what this book is about, really. Oh my gosh, next up is the Bromance Book Club, which this is going in God tier / OTP / faves, because faves. The Bromance Book Club is a book that I just read last year, and it's incredible, and Gavin and Thea are one of my biggest OTPs, and this book is just so funny and so cute, and I just adore everything about it. Ooh, and then we have The Butterfly Project next, which is also going in God tiers. Beckett and Zelda, holy shit, I love them so much, and they're so cute. They're just so cute and so soft, and this is like the ultimate like slow burn romance. I was just so here for this. Oh my god, I love it. And it takes place in New York, which gives it 10 out of 10 extra stars. Oh my god, next up we have Credence, which I'm so sorry. If you enjoyed this book, please look away because it's going in absolute trash. Because, I expected it to be great after loving Birthday Girl, and a lot of people were saying it's very forbidden like Birthday Girl, but this is like a whole nother level of extreme for me. This one was just not for me because it's about this girl who starts to hook up with this guy who's like not her uncle, but he's like an uncle-like figure in her life, and then he has 2 sons who are almost like brothers in a way, but they're not, and one of them, Caleb, is like one of my least favorite characters that I've ever read about in a book ever. Alright, so next up we have Dear Erin by Mariana Zapata, and this one's gonna go in already forgot it / not great because this book, oh my gosh, like almost the entire book is told through letters of them sending letters to each other back and forth. Literally for like 200 to 300 pages of this book, it's nothing but letters back and forth and back and forth. I like the inclusion of letters in a book, but not when it's like the only storytelling part of it. Like it drove me nuts, honestly. It was very frustrating. Next up we have Dirty Letters by V. Keeland and Penelope Douglas, and for this one, I'm also gonna put in already forgot it / not great because I just read this book for the Backlist readathon, and I'm already like forgetting things about this book. They're both like stalkery kind of, and just like, ugh. And then we have Eleanor Gray by Brittany C. Cherry, which, I think I would put this one in God tier, OTP / faves. I love whenever Brittany C. Cherry can write characters that experience tragedy, and like the tragedy just kind of brings them together and they rely on each other to overcome the tragedies in their lives. I just think that shit is so beautiful, and Brittany C. Cherry is like one of the best writers at doing that thing, and I just feel like this book does that really well. This book made me bawl my freaking eyes out. Next up we have Fight or Flight, which this book is freaking garbage, so it's going in absolute trash because I would not recommend this one to anybody. And these 2 main characters are the most annoying ass, privileged, annoying as shit main characters I've ever read about, so it's trash. Next up we have Fix Her Up, which I know this book is so popular, but this one's also going in absolute trash. Like, I'm sorry, but am I sorry? Not really, because Travis Ford is so gross and annoying, and he's like baby girl every other 2 words, and I will never forget that line that he says to her when they're about to have sex, and he's like, get ready to meet your god. Like, ugh, no thank you, you're trash. And then we have From Lukov with Love, which I'm very sad that I didn't end up loving this book, because I know a lot of people really loved this one, but I'm just gonna put it in just okay / not for me. I feel like these 2 characters in this book just made better friends than lovers. And then we have From This Moment. I'm gonna put this one in cute shit, because this one is this one about this girl who her husband dies, and then he has a twin brother who's this doctor that comes back from being like overseas. I think he was like in Africa or something, and he comes back to like help her deal with like his death and all of the things, and he helps her like raise the daughter kind of that she had with his brother. And then it's like a forbidden kind of like romance that starts to happen between them. And like, holy shit, it was so cute. I really need to reread this book, honestly, because I remember loving it so much, but like my love for it has faded over the years because it's been so long. But I feel like I need to reread this one to appreciate it appropriately. And then next up we have Full Tilt, which this one also might be an OTP fave, but it's been so long since I've read it, so I'm gonna put it in cute shit, because this one is like another one of those really like emotional, beautiful books, and it made me like cry a whole lot. It's about this guy who has like a heart condition, and like his heart is probably going to fail soon. Just think like The Fault in Our Stars, but the adult version, and instead of cancer, it's a heart condition, and then you have Full Tilt. It's really good though, it's beautiful. And then next up we have Getting Schooled by Emma Chase, and I think this one's gonna go in absolute trash. Sorry. This one was just, oh god, these characters were so cringy and so extra, and just, this book just wasn't for me. Alright, then next up we have One True Loves by Taylor Jenkins Reid, which this one is going in god tier / faves, because this book has a love triangle that like I've maybe never been so torn over a love triangle in a book before, because this book is about this girl who she thought her husband had died, right, in this freak helicopter accident weird thing, and then 4 years later she's engaged to this new guy, and she's like moving on with her life, and she's finally happy, and then she gets a phone call that says the husband is still alive and he's been surviving like in the wilderness or whatever after the accident. And then like he comes back, and then it's about her having to choose between her husband who came back from the dead basically, and this new guy that she's like formed genuine feelings for. And oh my god, like the struggle in this book of trying to like you can feel her heart getting tugged in different directions, and like, oh my god, it's just beautiful. Oh my gosh. And then we have The Gravity of Us by Brittany C. Cherry, which this is one of my favorite Brittany C. Cherry books, so this one's also going in god tier. I love this book. I think this book is best if you go into it completely blind, because I did, and I had no idea what to expect, and it was amazing. And yeah, this book is technically the 4th book in a series, but you can read it as a standalone. And then we have My Favorite Half Night Stand, which this one is cute, but also I'm just gonna put it in just okay, because the catfishing is what I have an issue with in this book, because I don't think it's ever cool to like catfish somebody, especially someone that you know in real life. Like, just be genuine and be yourself. So that's like definitely my biggest issue with this book, but it's still really cute and it's really well written, and it follows like a group of professors. All right, and then we have Hate Notes by V. Keeland and Penelope Ward, which this one's also going in just okay. I wanted to love this one because it had such great office, like it's like office romance and hate to love vibes all in one. It sounded like my ideal perfect book, but it ended up being just okay for me. Then we have Heels Over Head, which holy shit, this is god tier, amazing OTP. Brandon and Jeremy, oh my god, this is like a male-male romance where they're both training to be Olympic athletes. Like, they're both gonna be divers for the Olympics. It is so, so good, and it's beautiful. One of my favorite male-male romances that I've ever read. Of course, then, the next one is Him by Serena Bowen and Elle Kennedy, which this is my favorite male-male romance of all time, so this one's going in god tier as well. And then we have It Ends With Us. Ugh! All of these books, like back to back, are some of my favorites of all time. This one's also going in god tier because Atlas is one of my all-time favorite characters in a book ever. Oh my gosh. And then Josh and Hazel's Guide to Not Dating by Christina Lauren. This one's gonna go in cute shit because it's not exactly on the same tier as all of those other books to me, even though I do love Josh and Hazel. I gave this book like 5 out of 5 stars, I'm pretty sure, and I just absolutely love it and adore it, but it's not on the same level to me as all those other favorite books of all time. And then Junkie is definitely going in God tier because Drew and Trent, oh my gosh, they have some of the best chemistry. This one's a male-male romance as well. And then we have Colty, which it makes me kind of sad, but I'm gonna have to put this one in trash. Everyone probably just unsubscribed, but I just really didn't like Colty. I just don't understand why everyone's obsessed with this book. I think the main character is like really annoying and really juvenile, and I think Colty, the love interest, is such an asshole, and he's just so obnoxious for like 99% of this book. Oh my god. And then we have The Line Below, which this one is also absolute trash because these main characters are so cliche and annoying, and they're having sex by like page 20 or something, and then they're just like, the whole book is just like drama that like doesn't even matter. Oh my god, it's so stupid. And then we have Love in Other Words by Christina Lauren, which this one is just okay slash not for me because I don't really enjoy second chance romances anyway, so I think that's the main reason why I didn't end up enjoying this one. But I just personally didn't really connect with either of the characters in this book. It was just all right. And then next up we have Marriage for One, which this one I'm gonna put in already forgot it slash not great. I just didn't really enjoy this one. I think Jack's character in this book honestly is just a little bit too like aggressive for my personal taste. He's just too like, I don't know, he gives me like douchebag vibes. Like I just didn't connect with his character, and I think it's so cheesy that their names are Jack and Rose, like seriously. And then we have Not the Girl You Marry, which this one is definitely going in absolute trash. It's a 1-star romance for me, one of my least favorites. It's just not good, and it's just like, oh my god, he calls her a sexy rabid raccoon. Like I'll never forget that. That's so weird. And then we have On the Island, which I would put this one in cute shit because this was like a 4-star romance for me, but I didn't even super like care or love the romance in this book, but I was just really invested in the situation, you know, because this one is about this couple. Well, they're not even a couple at the beginning of it, but they're like a teacher and student that get stranded on this island, and she's his teacher. She's like at least 10 years older than him, I want to say, in this book. And then they get stranded on this island for years, and then it's like a slow developing romance between them. But I was more invested in like their survival situation and like how fascinating it was. And then we have Red, White, and Royal Blue, which this is definitely God tier OTP faves. Alex and Henry, chef's kiss. And then Regretting You by Colleen Hoover. This is another one where like the romance in the book was just okay for me, but I love the story in this book, so I think I'll put it in cute shit, even though, again, I'm not a huge fan of the romance happening in this book, but it's just mainly the mother-daughter relationship that I love and just like the story going on in general. All right, next up we have Roomies by Christina Lauren, which this one's gonna go, this one's gonna go in just okay. It's not one of my like favorite Christina Laurens. I think I gave it like 4, maybe 3 stars. Oh my god. And then Someday Someday by Emma Scott. This is definitely God tier because this was in my top 2 books of 2019. Like this romance just surprised the hell out of me. This one's a male-male romance. It's the first one that Emma Scott ever wrote, and like holy shit, it's amazing and beautiful and so well written and just like one of the best. And then we have Something to Talk About, which is my most recent read on all of these, and I'm gonna put it in already forgot it slash not great because even though I just read it, I know I didn't forget it yet, but I very much will forget it. But I can tell you that it's not great, and I DNF'd this book. I had such high hopes because it's a female-female romance and I need more of that in my life. And then we have Tell Me How You Really Feel, which I'm gonna put in cute shit because it's not exactly on the same tier for me as all of these books, but it's definitely something I would still recommend and that I think is really cute. And that one is a young adult female-female romance that is so cute. It has like hate to love vibes and it's just a great time. And then we have The Bride Test, which I would also put this one in cute shit, again because it's not exactly on this same God tier level for me, but it's definitely cute. And we have The Flat Share, which I would put this one in not great slash already forgot it, because I seem to be in the minority that I think the flat share is just like not that great. I hated the way that Leon's chapters were written. I just like, they were like so annoying. And then we have the friend zone, which I want to put this in absolute trash just because of the way that this book wraps up, because this book was marketed as a book about infertility and like a book about a main character who struggles with infertility, and then the way that this book eventually turns out is just like a slap in the face. And I also don't like the way that Josh talks about Kristen in this book, because he compares her to other women and he's like, she's just so much cooler than other women, and like I just hate guys that have to put down other women to describe how amazing this one woman is. And then we have the Happy Ever After playlist, which is also by the same author as the Friend Zone. And for that, I'm gonna put this one in just okay, because this book was definitely an improvement over the Friend Zone for me, but it still like wasn't that great. It was just fine. And then we have The Hating Game by Sally Thorne, which is one of my favorite romances of all time. So this is definitely going in God tier, because Lucy and Josh, oh my god, one of the biggest OTPs. And this book honestly was one of the books that really got me into romance in the first place, like obsessed with it. And then we have The Honey Don't List, which is Christina Lauren's most recently published romance. And this one is gonna go in already forgot it slash not great, because it's just very forgettable for me. And then we have The Kiss Quotient, which this one is also gonna go in cute shit for me, because it's not exactly on the same tier as these top ones for me either, but it's still something that is like really, really cute and that I highly recommend. And Stella Lane is like one of my favorite characters that I've read about in a book, so I still think this book is so, so cute. And then we have The Light We Lost, which I would probably put this one in God tier as well, just because of the way that this book made me cry my freaking eyes out. Like, holy crap. And then we have The Simple Wild, which this one is also one that I would put in my God tier, because Jonah and Calla are some of my favorite, like they're one of my biggest OTPs that I've ever read about, and I love the atmosphere of this book. I love that it takes place in Alaska. It's just such a great book, and I just love it and adore it so much. And then we have The Wall of Winnipeg and Me, which this one's also in my God tier top favorites. This God tier list is getting very long, which I'm very happy about. But The Wall of Winnipeg and Me is so, so good. It's one of the slowest burn romances that I've ever read, and I just adore both of these characters in this book so much. And then we have The Worst Best Man, which I would put this one in just okay, because I think this book was pretty good, but I think I ended up giving it like a 3.5, and it's not something that's super memorable for me, even though I just read it this year. And then we have Top Secret, which this one has got to be going in my all-time faves in the God tier, because oh my god, Top Secret, like Serena Bowen and Elle Kennedy are amazing when they collaborate. Like, I just end up loving it so much, and these two characters in this book are so precious and so soft. And then we have Tweet Cute, which is a romance that I just read this month. It's like a young adult romance, and I'm gonna put this one in just okay, because this one is like pretty cute, but again, it's young adult, so it's just like not something that I super connect with. And then we have Twice in a Blue Moon, which this one I'm gonna put in not great as well, because it was just very forgettable for me, and I think this is also because I don't enjoy second chance romance very much. But also, I just didn't really like these characters. And then we have Undercover Bromance, which I would put this one in cute shit. I know a lot of people didn't really enjoy this one, but I personally enjoyed it a lot. I actually really liked both of the main characters in this, and I just love and adore the bromance book club so much. Like, the guys in the book club. It's just really cute, and I really enjoyed this one. And then we have The Unhoneymooners, which does anybody even have to ask which tier this would go in? Excuse me, scroll up. God tier list is getting so far away that I have to scroll. But yeah, The Unhoneymooners is like definitely at the top of my God tier. Like, is anybody surprised? Probably not. Alright, we only have a few left. So, We Own Tonight by Corinne Michaels. This one is definitely going in absolute trash. This is like one of my least favorite romances that I've ever read. And it's just such garbage. It's like one of those books where they're like having sex by page 25, and then the rest of the book is just meaningless drama. And then we have What If It's Us, and I'm gonna put this one in already forgot it slash not great, because I know a lot of people really enjoy this one, but I just thought it was so cliche and like insta-lovey kind of, and I thought that these two main characters had like absolutely no chemistry. And then I have When Ashes Fall, and with this one too, I think I'm gonna put it in Already Forgot It, because I think I just read this book last year, I want to say, but I already forgot like what it's even about. And then I have When August Ends, which I would also put in Already Forgot It, because I did read this one in like August last year, I think. And I can't recall anything about this book. I think there's like a slight age gap in this book, I think. And it's like a little forbidden, but it was like so not steamy that I don't remember any of it. And then we have When Katie Met Cassidy, which is a female-female romance that is once again not great, which is so disappointing. I think I'm gonna put this one in absolute trash. Like, I'm sorry, but I feel like one of the main character girls in this book is such a prude, because she's like so rude about the other girls in this book, and she's just like kind of like judgmental and like, I don't know. And then very lastly, we have Wish You Were Here by Renee Carlino. This one is also gonna go in absolute trash. I really didn't like Wish You Were Here by Renee Carlino. It was my #1 worst book of the year in the year that I read it. And it was just not a great time. Like, this main character, Charlotte, is one of my least favorite characters that I've ever read about, because she's such an asshole and she's so judgmental about everything. And like, even the beginning of this book, when she meets this guy, like, he gives her so many red flags and she's just like, oh my god, he's adorable. Oh my god, I despise everything about this book. Do not recommend. So those are all of the romances on my tier ranking list. That was a lot of things, but I'm very happy that it looks like my god tier list was the longest list out of all of them, which makes me very happy. And once again, I just have a whole lot of fun doing these tier ranking videos. I do have one other bookish one planned that I would like to do, but if you have any other tier ranking kind of video ideas that you would like for me to do, then please let me know. And let me know if you agree or disagree with any of these tier ranks that I made. I'm sure there will be some of you that definitely disagree. But thanks so much for watching as always, and thanks again for 40K. I really appreciate it. And I will see you guys very soon with a new video.